I think we'll get started. How's the volume? Can you hear me at the back? Okay. So first of all, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming up, joining us today to honor the memory of our little brother, Kevin. I will introduce myself. I think probably everybody knows who I am. My name's Carol Baxter. I'm Kevin's oldest sister. My husband Jim is here, and our three kids all living on Vancouver Island now, yay, were not able to join us, but they're here in spirit, for sure. And thank you for wearing your jerseys. There's so many jerseys out there. Where's the Canucks jerseys? Kevin's favorite team. So Kevin was born on November the 6th, 1968, and adopted into our family in January of 1969, adding a whole new dimension to our family. He was a very active little guy, so cute, so cute. There are dozens of stories I could share about his early childhood. It was hard to pick just a couple of them. Kevin's natural agility and athleticism became obvious very, very early on in his life. He walked before he was 10 months old and immediately started running after that. Unlike his older sisters, new physical skills came very easily to him. Dad always cleared an area on the dugout in the winter time for us to skate. And when Kevin was about 4, Mom took him out there to start teaching him to skate, as they had done with 3 of us. She put little skates on him, stood him up on the ice, and she's ready to hold his hands to help him, but he just skated away. She said, "Kevin, you're skating!" And he just said, "Well, yeah, that's what we came out here for." He started playing hockey at a young age, and he continued that throughout his teen years. There's a picture of one of his hockey pictures on the table up front. Kevin did and said so many funny things when he was little. For example, he was, I don't know, probably preschool still. Mom called him over, we were outside, and said, "Ooh, Kevin, it's getting chilly. Come here so I can put your jacket on." He said, "Mommy, how come whenever you're cold, I have to put a jacket on?" Kevin was Dad's little shadow. He followed him everywhere, along for farming tasks as much as he was allowed. And it became obvious one day that he was also keenly observant. He and Dad were out in the pickup truck, driving along, checking the fence line. Dad stopped, turned the truck off, and got out to check a section of fence. Suddenly, the truck roared to life. He turned around just in time to see Kevin scoot quickly back over to the passenger side. So obviously, he had watched Dad start the truck and thought he'd give it a try. So from then on, Dad took the keys with him when he got out of the truck. Another time, they went out to check on the cattle. And what Dad would do is he'd step into the pasture over the fence and leaving Kevin on the outside, safely outside of the fence, and he'd call the herd to him by bellowing like a distressed calf. A lot of farmers in the room may have done the same thing. When Kevin saw this and the cattle started coming running toward them, he got quite alarmed, and he said to Dad, "Daddy, if I were you, I'd get over on this side of the fence instead of standing there scratching your behind." Now, Brenda, your turn. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a teary crowd. One of my favorite memories of Kevin is when he came to the Hill family at Manstead. Kevin would have been in his early 20s at the time. Oh, you just read it.
It happened to be on a weekend when there was a one-day community family curling bonspiel going on. I asked Kevin if he curled, and of course he said, "Oh yeah, I curl." So we entered the bonspiel. Brenda, Kevin, Kayla, and Joel, who were aged 8 and 10 at the time, about. Kevin curled like a pro, of course, and we won the whole bonspiel. We were each presented with a gold medal and a chocolate bar as a grand prize. It was such a fun day. Later, I discovered that when Kevin said, "Oh yeah, I curl," he meant that he had curled at some point in his life. Again, this speaks to his athletic ability.
Yes.
Kevin was also great for nicknames, mostly for his sisters. Barbara was Babs, I was Beaner, which stemmed from my grade school name of Beanie. He never called me Brenda, I was always Beaner. Shirley was Squirrel.
You don't know where that came from.
You don't know that?
Oh, I do.
Just not telling. We're not sure what the story is behind that nickname. There's a 6-year age difference between Kevin and I. So when he was busy doing his teenage and young adult shenanigans, I was already out of the house. Kevin and I weren't particularly close for several years. Our life paths were very different for quite some time, but in the last 10 to 15 years, the age gap closed and our sibling bond became stronger. Many family gatherings, countless bocce tournaments, and lots of laughs. There were birthday parties, anniversary parties, etc., and Kevin was at all of them. He made the trek to Saskatchewan from the coast, from Abbotsford, as often as he could.
Thanks.
So I'm Barbara, Kevin's youngest sister. We were just 2 years apart, so I was pretty little when he joined the family, and probably very, very self-involved. So Kevin, the existence of Kevin didn't really start to materialize until I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. But some of the fondest memories I have are during the school years. Kevin did not love school, but he did get involved in events at the school. He liked the social part of it much more than sitting at a desk. And he had a really good circle of friends, and took part in quite a few events. And one that in particular that sticks in my mind was our high school had a air guitar contest. So Kevin and a few of his friends decided they were going to enter this contest. I don't remember if they won or not, but I know they were the most memorable act because their flashpot special effects lit the curtains on fire. So, I think they got bonus points for that. I'm not sure. But during Kevin's school years, he was very involved in a lot of sports. Outside of school, you'd find him in the summer racing his BMX bike, and in the winter, of course, playing hockey. And unfortunately for Mom and Dad, these activities often led to trips to the emergency room or off to the doctor to check for broken bones and concussions. But regardless of how often he got hurt, he always played full speed with no concern for injuries. And I do think that he probably had a high pain tolerance, because a few years ago he was injured at work, and he went for x-rays to ensure he hadn't broken any bones in his foot. And the x-ray came back, it was fine, but the doctors made mention of an old ankle injury. Kevin said, I've never broken my ankle. The doctor said, oh, yes you have. And so at some point in Kevin's past, he had been walking around with a broken ankle and didn't know it. So, as well as a high pain tolerance, Kevin had a very independent spirit. He didn't like rules. He preferred to figure things out on his own rather than listen to people's advice. As soon as he graduated from high school, he loaded up his car and he moved to Vancouver. He may have lived in some questionable places as he got himself established out there, but he was never without a job, sometimes two, and never without friends. He worked hard, he played hard, and he made his own way in life on his terms.
So we do next have a video reel presentation that Barb gets credit for that. Once we get started, I wonder, do we need the lights a bit lower?
Yeah, so the light switch closest to the door there, we can have that off.
Oh, Carmen, yeah, it's actually right behind you. That first one on the right, if you, yep, if you dim that just a little bit. Perfect. Thank you. We all have different ways of remembering Kevin. Now I want to introduce Erin, niece, and her husband Alec, I guess nephew-in-law, whatever, who are going to do a song for us.
Okay, we'll just kind of, that's loud enough,
I
right?
think we'll sing out and
Yeah.
just tune up.
You can turn it up. You can turn it up on the wall. First, on the first knob on the left.
Try that.
Oh, you, there'll be no more crying. For you, the sun will be shining, and I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right to you. I give the word to you. I'll never be cold, and I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. And I wish you all the love in the world, but most of all, I wish it from myself. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Like never before. Like never before. Like never before.
Thanks so much, you two. It's always such a treat to hear you sing. At this time, we want to invite anybody else who feels they want to share a memory of Kevin or a story. You're welcome to come up to the mic. Maybe I should have warned you earlier. Anybody would like to say something? Oh, thank you.
My name is Judy Buell, and I went to high school, and Karen's junior high with Kevin. We were quite good friends, and with the air guitar contest, that flash spot was on my front step, is where they practiced it. So they did not win because they were in trouble. But a couple of memories I have of Kevin is he had that hairstyle that curled up at the front with his long bangs, and he had the rat tail. And a friend of mine and I dipped that rat tail in peroxide in your kitchen to get it bleached blonde for him. But he used to have a Casio watch, I think, and my name's Judy, and it played Hey Jude. So every time we passed each other in the hall, he would hit the watch, and it would pull. So he was full of life.
I honestly missed the sports. The sports. But I didn't even I knew Kevin best when he had barely learned to walk, right? We lived together, and my starkest memory of him is he would wear these one piece PJs, right, that snap here and snap all the way up to the neck, and he would spend his days and nights running until he wore the bottom out of those little booties, right, and then at the knees as well. And you know, he may have been in pajamas, but like, no way was he going to go to sleep. It was too much. There was just too much of life to live to bother sleeping. And I don't know if you probably didn't catch it, but that picture of him when he turned 4 in front of this cake, he had this look on his face, and he would do this thing. He would run, and he'd stop in front of someone, and he would just look at you for a minute, like, get it? Do you get it? And then he would run and run and run. And last summer when we talked for a bit in Brenda's kitchen, he did that to me, and I had this flash of just how alive he was and how much there was of life to live. And I thought a lot about him since he passed, and I thought, what can I get? Like, what do I get from him and understand him? I think it's that, like he thought, there's no time to waste. Go on, go do a bunch of stuff because there's no time to waste. But sleep still, because sleep is really good for you.
I have one, excuse my voice, I've got a cold. I have one memory of Kevin that my husband Don and I have talked about over the years. It was so funny. We were in North Battleford visiting my mom and dad, and went to the Frontier Mall, and we noticed Kevin. I think he was about 14 or 15 years old. He was walking down the middle of the hall, totally oblivious of the fact that there are about 8 or 10 girls following him. I thought that was so funny.
I always really liked Kevin because I felt like we understood each other without having to say much. When I got here, one of the first things that happened was me and Kayla and Will kind of slinked off with Mare to do our own little side adventure, and that really reminded me of Kevin would have been with us because memorial, that was probably my favorite memory of that day, was going out and visiting with the three of you guys. My favorite memory with Kevin was when we all went to Salt Spring Island. And I'm just really, really glad that we got that. We had a lot of fun, and that was where he taught me the phrase "taking a crunch." we were waiting for the ferry, and I'd been gone for less than a minute before Mom asked where I was, and he said, "Oh, he's taking a crunch." he always seemed to have a story to share, and looking at the that video, it makes a lot of sense. He was always doing something. Yeah. He was the best bocce player here.
Mom was better.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, I can't believe no one's shared a golfing story yet. Take a crack at that. Some of my favorite memories of Kevin are on the golf course. And I don't think it's a particularly funny story or anything. It was just a... I just remember riding around on a motorized cart, just me and Kevin. And I had shanked the ball way, way out, but we were going to find it. There weren't a lot of trees. We just drove the cart off-road, and unbeknownst to us, they automatically turn off now if you go too far. Get out and push it back until it turned on again, and then we had to walk. We still had not found my ball, so we had to walk the rest of the way. And it was my ball, by the way. I don't know if it wasn't Kevin's. He shot a really good shot. So, but we knew the flag was over the trees, and he's just, go for it, just go for it. And he went on ahead. So it's just there myself in the middle of nowhere, and shot the ball, and went over, landed right in front of where the cart hit the cart. And I just remember walking around the corner, and he was so excited. I just remember he'd be so happy all the time. And that's just how I remember him. Thank you.
One of the first times I met Kevin was at Soyset's for supper. And I was nervous. Brenda was nervous. Ralph was really nervous. Kevin wasn't nervous. We were having supper, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw something fly off the table, and I thought that was odd. But sure enough, Kevin did not like carrots. So next time he got caught. Kevin, did you flick food? And then I realized that that wasn't what you're supposed to do there. Just ate the carrots. Another memory of Kevin on the farm. came tearing into the yard as fast as the quad would go. And that's how he did it. I wasn't worried about Kevin at all, I was worried about the quad. And I was really worried about Jim because he was trying to follow on the quad behind him.
I do not like talking in front of people, which you'll soon see, but I guess I've known Kevin a long time, so being that he was 1 mile away from me at the farm, at the time he was playing hockey on the driveway, probably to get away from all the girls, don't blame him. Yeah, so he's playing goal, he has to play goal at that stage of his life, and I'm quite a bit older, shooting quite a bit harder, but he just loved being the goalie. Except as we played, the ball got froze and eventually got harder, and I got away probably my best shots of my career. Boom, hit him in the chest. I thought we could have had this gathering a lot earlier than that, because he wouldn't cry, couldn't talk, but eventually he came back and went right back to it. Then I thought, as I watched him in these pictures here, his smile, it was the same all the way through, I thought, till high school. There's obviously a couple of years that I missed him there with the hair and the beard, because we were in different directions, because I wasn't quite as close at that point. But then we reconnected more and more as years went on, and I have still yet to watch the movie, but I know he was very proud. There's a movie out called Marley and Me, I think it's called. And he has the rights of saying that the dog was actually at his house, the movie star dog. So he was quite proud of that. Then it came down to when the memo came out to wear jerseys. So the first thing I thought is, okay, my son is a Vancouver Canucks fan, then I could borrow his jersey and honor the Vancouver Canucks, and I said, there's no way Kevin would understand that. So then I went to the Winnipeg Jets jersey, which I was gonna wear, and then I thought, oh, these jerseys are made for winter, so that's why I wear this one. It's made for summer, and I kind of run a big insulation pack everywhere I go. So, so back and forth, we'd natter at sports lots as time went on. And then the one memory that, because of the occasion, that really sticks to me is, as we got golfing, every time we came to North Battleford, we all went golfing. And first of all, my son phones and he said, well, who are you golfing with? And I said, of course, I only golf once a year. And I said, well, I'm golfing with Jim, and then golfing with Kevin, they're from BC. And he said, oh, you're in the Western Canadian Open. And I said, well, no, Dana's there too. He said, so I guess it's actually the Canadian Open. But of course, as he golfs, you realize that, I don't know, if I'm being generous, if I say he beat me by 30 to 40 strokes, probably, that he was a really good golfer at that point. And the one thing that really sticks out to me is we were standing there on a tee box, and he just said, he had just come from, I believe it was Brenda's house probably, and he just said, I have the coolest sisters in the entire world. And he said, he didn't mean cool as in temperature like me in the jersey. He just said, I'm so lucky to have 3 sisters that are so wonderful and so much fun. And so I thought I better share that, even though I don't like to talk in front of people.
Well, I'm Squirrel. I'm the Leafs lover. Kevin and I joke lots about hockey. My Leafs, his Canucks, but he secretly, and yes, I'm telling everybody, he secretly watched the Leafs for me when I was at work so he could give me updates. He was my W movie comrade. We texted back and forth and made jokes about she kissed him too early in the movie or too late. That won't be the same. My World Junior buddy. We always watched our World Juniors together. And He always said what a great family he had and how amazing you guys all were. Damn, he was right. You guys have taken me in, and I love you all for it. Damn, I'm gonna miss him.
Anybody else? Thanks everybody for coming up and sharing. Kevin always had a lot of friends. He was incapable of meanness, vindictiveness, or jealousy. He rarely complained. He had an extremely strong work ethic. He's always had a job. His last job was with Pretty's Chocolates. You saw one picture up there, the Pretty's gang, where he worked for 20 years. A couple of days after he passed away, his co-workers held a vigil for him at work, and Jim and I were able to attend that. Everybody there spoke of his helpfulness, his reliability, and his wry sense of humor. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here today. Your support means more than we can properly express. Please stay and visit. We're going to set some refreshments outside. Stay and visit for a while. We have the space available to us till 4 o'clock. Thank you.